If you think moving to Italy will finally make you happy, I need to say something you might not want to hear. It won't. And if no one tells you this before you move, you'll only find out the hard way. When people decide that they want to move to Italy, they're usually looking at the move through a number of different lenses. You have those people who believe that moving to Italy is a chance to escape all of the things that no longer make them happy about where they currently live, whether that be due to the politics of the country or to the governance of the country, the society, the economic situation, whatever it may be. Italy is seen as that chance to escape all of that unhappiness and radically improve their lives. Some people view the move to Italy as a chance to hit that reset button, to build a life from scratch, to start over and maybe create a life that is much more in alignment with who they are as a person. Some people view Italy as the chance to heal, a chance to lead a more holistic life and to really understand who they are on a much deeper level. And then you have those people who believe that moving to Italy is going to mean that they will lead a slower pace of life and as such have a happier and more fulfilled experience. Now, I pick up on this a lot in the comments on my YouTube videos from those of you who are planning to move here to Italy. I read all of the things that you are not happy about in your own country. And I also pick up on the underlying tone that you believe life in Italy is going to radically improve your experience and kind of help you to escape those aspects of life that you're not currently happy with. And I get why you might feel like that, because we're sold the idea that changing countries changes everything. But what actually changes and what doesn't is often where people get stuck. In my experience, there have been 3 key things that I have learnt around this. The first truth, if you like, is that you don't escape yourself when you move. In fact, you only meet yourself more clearly. Now, this is something that I can talk about from personal experience because when I moved to Italy, I wasn't really happy with my life at that point in the UK. I felt like I'd lost myself. I didn't really know who I was anymore. I didn't feel happy. And even though on the surface, to people that might have seen me or not really known me on a very deep level, you might have thought that I was living a great life. But actually beneath the surface, I was far from that. And it's interesting because moving to Italy only amplified everything that I was already carrying with me, like all that emotional baggage, all of those stresses, all of those insecurities. Life here has only amplified that. And so it made me realize that you can put yourself into new environments and into new places, but you are always with you, as that expression clearly says, and it's so true. And this is the place where I really learned that for the first time. And so if there are aspects, particularly within yourself and the way that you feel that you are not happy with, please know that you're still going to be with you in Italy. And that if you are really feeling that way, you've got to do some work on yourself, much the same that I did in late 2019. After I had my breakdown, I realized that I had to do some work on myself because I was never going to be able to escape me. We worry so much in life about our connections with other people, trying to have good connections, trying to have good friendships, trying to have people think well of us, that we often neglect the one relationship that is never going to go anywhere. And that's the one that we have with ourselves. And so, you know, when you move to Italy, that relationship, whether it exists or it doesn't, becomes even more visible than before. So it's definitely something to remember because you are going to have to put the work in if you really want to feel a lot more settled when you're living here with how you are as a person. The second truth that I have learned is that a beautiful place magnifies emotional discomfort. Linking it back into that breakdown that I was talking about before, I have lived in Italy now for over 7 years, and I can honestly tell you I have lived in some beautiful places. Yet I've also had some of my lowest moments in this country and I felt incredibly unhappy. And it's almost like a paradox to say this, but beautiful places, perceived perfection only amplifies what you think is missing in your life or the things that you don't think are going well for you. And this is something that you need to remember. Beauty is not a distraction. Sometimes it's a trigger. And so you need to be aware that even if you live in an incredibly beautiful country like Italy, if you're not happy within yourself, that is actually likely to make you feel worse in the long run than better. And so you've just got to be realistic with yourself about that. The third truth that I've really learned is that disappointment comes from expecting a place to do the inner work for you. I do believe that people place Italy on a bit of a pedestal. They give Italy this responsibility to make their lives better and to improve it in some way. Except, especially when it comes to you and your own life that you lead and the way that you feel, you have a lot more personal responsibility than you may want to give yourself credit for. I feel like there are aspects of our life that are out of our hands, variables that we have little to no control over. But there is so much of our life that we can have control over. But it's just the fact that we give our power away, or we don't want to do the work that's necessary in order to make those changes. Now, I really believe that people come here expecting life to be somewhat better than what they're currently experiencing in their country. But let me tell you, as much as Italy might be a vast improvement in some respects to what you're currently experiencing, there are many other aspects of life here that could be in complete contrast to what you know to be true and could prove to be stressful in their very own way. Italy is not this perfect place. It's not going to do the work for you. It's not going to make you feel better. Really and truly, only you have that control and that ability to improve your life in that way. Italy is only really just the backdrop. Because you see, there are aspects of Italy that I think can change your life, but not from the perspective of taking full responsibility for doing so, but as a support. Because Italy for me has been like a mirror. It has reflected back to me all of those aspects of my life that I needed to change or to improve upon or to get better at. It's highlighted for me the kind of parts of my life that weren't really very good and the parts that I needed to strengthen and perhaps, push myself, do things differently, whatever it may be. Italy has mirrored that back to me. And it's also been my greatest teacher. I've made no secret of the fact that Italy continuously teaches me something new every single day. Through the good times, the bad times, the challenges, whatever it may be, I'm constantly learning. And so I think if you can view life in that lens, that is probably one of the healthiest ways that you could move to this country, rather than expecting Italy to be this plaster, this pill that's going to take all of your pain away, but actually viewing it as your teacher that's probably going to expose that pain and make you sit with it, but then ultimately help you to learn from it. I actually think that that is one of the greatest experiences you could have, because I've always believed that if you move to Italy expecting it to save you, you'll resent it. But if you move ready to be changed by it, then you'll thrive. The fact is, moving countries is not the solution to every problem. It can be something that you think can benefit your life, but it shouldn't be as a band-aid to any existing issues that you have going on. Because if anything, it's going to expose those problems and make them feel 10 times worse, just in different surroundings. The move itself is like the beginning. It's not the fix. It's the beginning of a journey to perhaps improving your life ultimately, but having to do the work along the way to really arrive at that point. Italy is a beautiful country, but it's not going to be the problem solver, the fixer, whatever you may have thought it to be, without any work from yourself. And I think if you can accept that Italy is just what it is and that you have to play your part, then I think you can really truly appreciate this country and make a success of your life here. And if you've enjoyed this video, this is the one that I think you should watch next. I will see you in the next video.